Let's pick it up where we left off. The jury is back from lunch and the state's next witness is on the stand. This is another eyewitness. Let's watch.
Phone and speak into the microphone. Would you please tell us your full name and spell your last name?
Kay Rosas. The last name is Rosas.
Ms. Rosas, how old are you?
33. I'll be 34 tomorrow.
Okay. How long have you lived in this area?
23, 24 years.
24 years? Okay. And I want you to tell the jury, where were you employed back in September of 2023?
I was employed at Shell gas station over in Nokomis. The address is 1000 Extra Road, Nokomis.
In Nokomis?
Yeah, Shell gas station. 1000 Extra Road.
In what capacity did you work at the Shell station?
I was a manager.
Okay. And how long had you been the manager there at that?
14 years.
14? Mm-hmm. Okay. In addition to managing the store, did you also sometimes jump on the take money from customers and work the registers?
Yes.
Okay. On that particular morning, did there come a time when you were working the registers at the Shell station?
Yes, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning, between 6:30, 7 o'clock, because there was shift change.
Okay, so tell the jury what's going on at that Shell station between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning.
People come in, grab coffee, donuts, breakfast, food. People walk in and out. It was a really busy store back then.
Okay. Is there a lot of foot traffic at the Shell station because of construction workers coming in and a lot of construction going on in that area?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. How many other people were on registers that morning, if you remember?
One.
Thank you. One in addition to you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have an opportunity to review the video footage from the Shell station?
Yes.
When did you review that, Ms. Rosas?
I reviewed, there was a lot of people coming in and coming out.
No. I mean, did you have a chance to look at the video footage recently?
Yes.
Okay, when was that?
Right now.
Just today?
Yeah, yesterday. But I remember everything that happened that day.
Okay.
Like it was yesterday.
Okay, good. So you have a very good memory?
Yeah.
Okay. Has your family teased you about that?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Are you nervous?
I'm actually, yeah.
Okay, you're doing fine. Just talk to me like I'm your friend, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you had an opportunity to look at the video footage from the Shell station, and did you recognize that as the interior of the Shell station where you were the manager?
Yes.
And did you recognize yourself in some of the footage
Yes.
as well? Okay. The Shell video that you reviewed this morning, is it a true and accurate depiction of what took place on September 1st of 2023 at your store?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm now offering State's Exhibit number 5 into evidence.
No legal objection.
No objection, Judge.
All right, number 5, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 5 will be admitted into evidence, and you may publish it at your leisure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rosas, I'm going to put that on the screen behind you,
Okay.
and I'm going to use this laser pointer, and if I ask you to point something out, can you just press that little red button?
Okay.
Right at the screen?
Okay.
You have to multitask. You have to speak into the microphone while you're turning your head to look at the videos.
Okay.
Just be cognizant of that.
Okay.
Thank you. So, Ms. Rosas, what are we looking at right now? I'm going to stop the video, and I want you to point out some of the features of the store. So as we look at the far, well, it would be my left, at the far left of the screen, can you please point out the front, or the doorway to the Shell station?
Right there?
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
right there.
All right, is that the main entrance to the Shell station?
No, that's the back.
The back door?
Yes.
Okay. From this angle, are you able to point out to the jury members where the actual front door of the Shell station is?
Right on this side right here, like right next to the machine right there, the lotto machine right there.
Okay, so now that we're in that area of the screen, can you show the members of the jury where the registers are?
That one was register 1 where I was, and this is register 2.
Okay. Who is the person that's wearing the white hat and the red shirt?
That's me.
Okay, all right. So we're going to continue now. And as we're looking at the front door, the back door that you pointed out to us just a few minutes ago, put your laser pointer out at that person. Okay, and do you recognize that person?
Yes.
Now, what area is that person walking to?
The coolers.
Okay. Is this a different camera angle showing that same person that just walked in the back door?
Yes.
When you say cooler, what items for purchase are in that cooler?
On the back coolers right there, that was the beer coolers. And then on this angle right here, on the back right here, there were Coke products, Pepsi products, iced tea, sweet teas, like right here where he's walking right now, where he's opening the door, that was an iced tea cooler.
Iced tea?
Yes, where all the Lipton tea, Pure Leaf, and everything was.
Now, as you watch the person that...
And like you see, he's getting a Pure Leaf tea, extra sweet.
Are you able to recognize that product?
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Okay, so now we're back at a different angle, and show us where that person is.
He's right here, right behind the Red Bull cooler.
Okay, is he standing in line?
All right, hitting the pause button right there, but you know, this is again showing the actions after the alleged
The
murders.
7-hour manhunt that it took police to find him after he took off on foot after that chase.
Yeah, the 30-minute chase in the car through the neighborhood up to 70 miles per hour has been reported, and then he went into the woods with the alligators.
Yeah, and now we're seeing that video unfold, so it's fascinating evidence.
All right, still ahead, more testimony in the adopted son murder case. And coming up next hour, we head to Las Vegas, Nevada, where testimony is set to resume in the love triangle beheading case of Devin Michaels.
So, are you guys like intimate together? Does he sleep in your room?
Sometimes, like he'll fall asleep when we watch TV, but he usually sleeps on the couch.
He was gonna have to move out?
Javier was not happy about it, and the idea was Joan was not supposed to be moving in.
We'll get you back into that courtroom in Florida in just a minute, but first an update out of Arizona, where opening statements are underway right now in our newest live trial, the Sins of the Brother murder trial.
Defendant Ian Mitchum is accused of sexually assaulting and then killing a stranger back in 2015.
Let's listen in now to part of the state's opening statement in that case moments ago.
For Allison Feldman, her home, nestled in a quiet neighborhood in Scottsdale, was just that. Until the evening of February 17th, 2015. You see, that was the night when Ian Mitchum, a man unknown to Allison, made his way into her home and proceeded to violently beat, sexually assault, and strangle her to death. Sadly, on February 17th, 2015, Allison's sanctuary ultimately became the place where she would take her very last breath.
No real connection between the victim and the defendant in this case, other than we were talking DNA,
Yeah,
right?
the DNA and the genealogy that was used, it was actually very contested in this case and delayed it, and now going to trial.
All right, this is going to be a fascinating case to follow. We'll keep you updated on air and online throughout the day. But let's do this. Let's head back to the state of Florida now, where we've been watching day one of testimony in our newest live trial, which is the adopted son murder trial.
This is the one where 24-year-old Dima Tower faces 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection to the deaths of his parents, Jennifer and Robbie Tower. Police there found the victims dead inside of their home, covered with blood and several stab wounds. Prosecutors say the defendant led police on a high-speed chase before fleeing on foot in a wooded area.
Let's go back into court now, where more testimony from that eyewitness.
He's standing in line with the other men.
Yes.
Waiting to be helped.
Yes.
At the register. At that point, did you notice anything unusual about him?
I noticed at that point, no.
Okay.
He's behind the other guy in the back with the hat. There he goes.
All right. Now, did you summon him over to your register, or why did he walk over?
Yeah, I call him up.
Okay. All right.
That was my beer guy walking out, so I call him up.
Okay. All right. So, what did you notice about the defendant once he came closer to you and walked up to your register? Can you describe what you saw?
Yeah, I saw blood on his hands, and I saw dirt on his hands. And for me, and what I know for Sarasota County, you're not allowed to start working on landscaping, construction, or anything but until 8 o'clock.
Relevance?
Overruled.
You're not allowed to work until 8 o'clock in the morning because there's people living around. That's what I know.
Okay. So, based upon your experience, you know that landscapers don't begin work until later in the morning because of the noise ordinance.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else did you notice about the defendant, aside from blood on his hands and being
His look.
dirty? His what?
His look. How he looked. Like when I approach him there, customer service is always good morning. How are you? He didn't answer back. When I thought he speaks Spanish, I tried to say it in Spanish too. There was no answer. He was always looking down. And when he handed me the money, it was kind of nervous.
Okay. All right. Let's continue for a minute.
And he paid me with a $50 bill.
All right. Now, what are you doing there?
Checking the bill.
Okay. What kind of bill did he give you?
A $50 bill.
All right. And why is it important to check $50 bills?
Because sometimes they can be fake.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to his shirt, Ms. Rosas. Are you able to tell us anything distinctive that you remember about that shirt?
It was dirty.
Dirty.
Completely dirty, yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rosas. Now, did there come a time when law enforcement came to the Shell station that morning?
Yes, like 2 minutes after he left.
All right, so almost immediately,
Yes.
the defendant walking out that door. And did you eventually speak to law enforcement that morning?
Yes, I did. I was at the office getting change because, like I say, it's the end of the night shift. So I
Yes.
have to go grab change for the rest of the day. And when they came in, they were asking if I see who he was, and yeah.
And were you able to explain to him, to law enforcement, what you remembered about the events of that morning that were?
They came in and they asked me if I have seen a short guy, and I
Have a what? I'm sorry.
if I have seen a short guy.
Short guy.
Yeah, and I told them, you know how many short guys are here? Yeah. So I need a little bit more description. When they
Yes.
became and they told me the description that he was, what was he wearing? I told them, yes, I sold them an iced tea.
Okay, and so you were able to verify the
Yes.
description of that person?
Yes.
All right, thank you. May I have a moment, please?
You may.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rosas. I have nothing further.
Okay.
You have to stay there. The defense may have some questions for you.
Okay.
No questions, John. All right, please.
Just a regular day at the gas station for her, and then she stumbles across something that turns out to be huge evidence in this case.
Yeah, you know, because he is like on the run and buying and acting very calm in front of her.
Let's bring back in trial attorney Mackenzie Joy Brennan. Mackenzie, because the defense is saying they want this jury to come back with manslaughter, it's not disputed what he did. It's a question of whether or not this is first-degree murder. Do you see any mitigation in what we just watched? Anything about the video and how he appears?
Yeah, boy, first of all, this witness is really sharp. She certainly knows her stuff. She's incredibly credible. I know it's not disputed what happened here, but I don't know. Everything that I've seen, and maybe it is a cynical view, it's certainly possible that jurors could take an alternate view, but everything that I've seen about this defendant makes me think that, you know, he can't control himself, that this was something that he intended to get away with. You know, he's on the run for 7 hours. And also that he's not really somebody who is likely to learn to control his emotions. My take on him crying in the opening statement, for example, was that, you know, once again, he's up, he's down, he can't constrain himself. He regrets what he's done ostensibly, but also was filled with rage enough to do it. And here, if I were on the run for 7 hours, I don't know that getting an extra sweet pure leaf tea would be my priority. So I don't think it directly affects anything, especially since, you know, these details aren't contested. But to me, it can add to a jury constellation of this guy has no self-control, he's kind of cavalier, and also certainly knows enough to be fleeing.
What are you watching for as the state continues to present evidence in this case?
I mean, I think it's the state's case to lose, frankly, because it is so brutal. And the circumstance is so sad. We have the past evidence, and this will be really interesting to see how much we get to hear, what the details are. But that evidence that his parents were afraid of him, that there had been prior violent altercations potentially, that you know, the mother was pushed. It sounds like the father spoke to police about this, so it must have reached a level that was required. That will be really interesting evidence. Again, I don't know that it's a make or break type of detail, but really could help paint this picture of not manslaughter, but somebody who, whether the cause is psychological or what, is not well, is violent, and cannot be a part of society, and likely did this, as he said to police afterwards, out of rage that he cannot quell, and I'm sure it's not quelled by this one act.
Yeah, the prosecution spent a lot of time focusing on that word rage in their opening statement. Mackenzie, thank you for that analysis.